welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house, not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Miller, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, my book which highlights all of my strategies on just how I've been able to get these proven ROIs of 30, 40, 50+% season after season across multiple sports leagues just by playing with the house. And of course, I still have signed copies available to get shipped out to all of you on my website, arielcalista.com. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for my free daily emails. The morning or the daily report. I just changed the name of it because now that I'm sending it out a little bit later, you really get to see how these lines develop and change throughout the day to really find the best plays in this free daily email, which of course includes my picks of the day, as you already know, all of the line setup and analysis, some sports news, my picks every single day delivered to you, all for free. Just click stay in touch at arielcalista.com. Hello and good morning, everyone. Hello, Sharp and David. Hello, Derek and Craig. It is so nice seeing you all on this beautiful Sunday morning. Who's ready to win some wagers? I am. But before we get started, we need to sit back, relax, and get our minds right to win some wagers. Today, I am starting off with a strain called Harlequin. This is a pretty interesting strain because it has a high CBD content, lots of CBD in here in this strain. It's 5-2 CBD to THC. So compared to a lot of marijuana strains that are really focused on THC and increasing the amount of THC everyone gets, this is more a relaxation, calm, less psychoactive high than you would normally see out there on the market, which is perfect for a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there who just don't want the psychoactive effects. I know plenty of them out there, and this is, adding more CBD instead of THC is perfect for all of these people. Hey Brian, good morning. And don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you for reminding me, Sharp. Yes, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Sports Betting Illuminated. These shows are every Sunday at 11 a.m. And now Wednesdays, our new time, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. So I hope you could subscribe so you get notified, turn your notifications on, and join me for some winning wagers on both of these days every week. Now, let's get our minds right to win some wagers. Whoa, this is great. This definitely feels a little less psychoactive, so it's more relaxing, good for people with inflammation or pain, but with such a high CBD to THC concentration, way more CBD in here, just keeps you focused. And today I have to be super locked in because we have a huge slate of games today. Whether you want some NBA picks or NFL picks, we have Monday games, so let's get started and dive right on in. But before we get started, I just want to let all of you know that this is not a great week to be wagering on the NFL, so just think about that, keep that in the back of your mind as you're going into some of these bets today. And yeah, let's start about the Bears 49ers game at 4:25 p.m. So close to 4:20. I think I just have to take another bong rip for that. Oh, you notice you have a sharp eye. Sharp. You see what I did there? This is a mini dab rig. I am going to bring it on the show one of these days when I get a new scorch torch and show you how it works. Also, new little dress, outfit of the day. Hope you guys are all enjoying my little looks. It's actually a beautiful, bright, sunny day outside. I went a little darker, but that's okay. Now, this game at 4:25 p.m. Eastern, Bears versus the 49ers. Wow, has there been some injury news out of San Francisco? I mean, seriously, just looking at how all the money has been moving in this game, as soon as they're announcing all of these injuries, you just see all of the serious players suddenly, they start swinging to the Bears side. Like, all of the money goes from a majority of it kind of being on San Francisco, and then suddenly the injury news comes out. It gets pretty mixed. It gets pretty mixed, with quite a bit of money, pro money, starting to hop on the Bears money line. And I like how the sportsbooks have moved this. Of course, the sportsbooks know when their injuries are happening, sometimes as soon as we do, or sometimes even before we do. We all know that. But they did move this money line. They started moving it pretty early, kind of slow, but then, after yesterday, they moved it pretty hard, from plus 200 to plus 145 on some mixed pro money. So I do like seeing the bit of pro money showing up in here. I mean, this is clearly one of those cases where the 49ers are just kind of looking like a little dilapidated at this point with all of these injuries. Yeah, I can't believe it either. Oh, you remember that Panther bet last year. What can you say? You gotta play with the house, and when the house makes a move, that's what I do. But you're right. There have been so many times where people are like, no, how can you do this? How is this a good bet? But, I mean, truthfully, 70% of the time, the books are more right than they're wrong. And that's just the math. So, I mean, I do like this play. I mean, not really. Like, I would have taken this under normal circumstances. Wow, plus 150 on the Bears still? Okay. Because a lot of the major biggest books moved it to 145, and I think they're still even moving it. So I'd say this is one of those spots where you might want to grab this early. Line shop around. If you guys were reading the morning report yesterday, the daily report yesterday, I mean, I was talking about line shopping, and line shopping is really important. It could really, it just adds profit to your bottom line by line shopping. And, in the professional sports betting world, that's like having good hygiene, like you brush your teeth in the morning, you line shop around if you're a professional sports wager. It's just what you do. Under in the Bears game. Well, looking at this, I'm just not seeing like a ton of movement here. Let me just update some of my numbers and see if there's any movement now. I know when I started looking at these numbers earlier, a lot of the pros in Vegas just haven't woken up yet. And, being out on the East Coast, this is kind of one of those spots where, you do want to keep your eye on this. So it looks like the money is still very, very mixed on this total here. Let me dive a little bit deeper into these numbers and give you like a full analysis on everything. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing in some spots it's moved a point. So, and hey Burton, welcome in. I see in some spots this under has moved a point. Like it has moved from 44.5 where it opened up to 43.5 in some Vegas sports books, but not all of the major sports books are biting on this right now. Some are still holding it at 44. And to me, that's not as big enough of a line movement as I would like to see. It doesn't quite meet my parameters for an under bet here. And the money is just really kind of mixed in this spot with a majority of the money leaning towards the over. Wow, this is kind of changing by the second, but yeah, more and more money is kind of hopping on the over. To me, I just don't really see a play here on the total. I think you have a good point, Sharp. There's just not really support from the money or the books, and you know, moving a point, moving a half a point, even though it is significant when it's on the total, I would like to see it move just a little bit more, especially in games like this where the money is just kind of split, kind of mixed. It's kind of all I have to say about that. Yeah. I would definitely just take the Bears money line. I was looking at the spread earlier too on the Bears. I saw how that moved from +6 to +3.5, but I kind of don't really like this one. It's just been kind of going back and forth a little bit. I like the money line a lot better here. So I would say, yeah, take the Bears money line. The pros are hopping on that right now. It seems like they'll just win outright. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Indy Dawn. So nice seeing you. Welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated. It's been such a long time. Man, I love seeing all of you guys' faces here. It is so wonderful. Thanks for joining me, everyone. All right, now there is another game that's in the process of developing right now, and that's the Raiders-Bucks game. This is happening at 1 p.m. Eastern. I like how this total is developing. It moved from 44 to 46.5 on level 2 pro money. So as you can see, compared to this, the last game where it only moved a point to only half a point in some spots, this moved 2.5 points already, and I'm waiting for it to move, you know, an extra half point for 3 points towards the over. I just like the over 46.5, how it's developing. I'd keep my eye on this in this game, but the money is backing this one up as well. So as you can see, the line has moved a little bit more, you know, with the 2.5 points, but there's also level 2 money on it with a little bit of pro money in the mix. So the money's a little bit more significant and the line has moved just a little bit more. So I do like the over here in this game. Like I said, it's still developing, so you have some time. It doesn't start until 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I I would like to see this push out just a little bit more, maybe an extra half a point. Let's just go to over 47, right? But actually, I like how this moved out early. It moved out pretty strong early, and you know, I'm just waiting to see how this total looks. As of right now, I like the over. I'd say maybe just keep your eye on the line. If it doesn't move to 46 or down to 45 or something, you know, this seems like a good solid bet at the moment. And yeah, I like the over here, so lock that in. Bucks Raiders, you know, write it down. Make sure to lock it in later because, like I said, we just don't know how this line's gonna move, and the numbers have been a little bit dead, and everything's still developing. We have time. All right, now it is time to get into the 2-minute drill. I'm so excited to share it with you. Let's get started. Hey sports bettors, I have an important message for you. Do not fall for the allure of same-game parlays. Same-game parlays often pay more in rewards, such as the 5% offered by Fanatics Rewards compared to 3% for multi-game parlays and the 1% rewards for straight bets, because they strategically benefit the sportsbooks while appealing to the bettor's psychology. Same-game parlays, what are they? They combine bets within a single game where certain outcomes are positively correlated. For example, let's say a quarterback throws for 300 or more yards. This increases the likelihood of a high-scoring game, which could also hit the over on total points. This correlation makes same-game parlays slightly more probable than unrelated parlays, where the outcomes are independent. Like, for example, a quarterback's yardage in one game and a point total in a different game. However, sportsbooks adjust the odds on same-game parlays to account for these correlations, often underpricing the likelihood of linked outcomes. This creates a higher odds edge for same-game parlays compared to straight bets or multi-game parlays, where the odds are based on independent probabilities. The increased margin allows for sportsbooks to offer more rewards without compromising their profitability. Additionally, same-game parlays are highly marketable and fun, and it encourages bettors to focus on specific games, which increases betting volume for the sportsbook and more engagement overall. Casual bettors perceive same-game parlays as strategic or easier to win because they can build narratives around a single game, even if the actual expected value, or EV, is lower than it seems. By offering higher rewards for same-game parlays, sportsbooks capitalize on their profitability by encouraging repeat play. Bigger rebates also create the illusion of value, attracting more bets to a product with built-in advantages to the house. This makes same-game parlays a win-win for the sportsbooks, driving revenue up while engaging the bettors. The larger rewards are not a reflection of better odds for bettors, but rather is a calculated incentive to push bets that maximize the sportsbook's margins. Do not fall for this trap. Of course, if any of you guys have any questions on this, would like to follow up with me, learn more, of course, feel free to write my email anytime, or fill out any other contact form that I have on arielcalista.com. But of course, if you sign up for my free daily emails just by clicking on the button that says stay in touch, you can reply back to any of them anytime and I'll write you back right away. It is me answering all of my emails, so feel free to write in with any questions that you have, or even just to say hi. I love that too. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like that wagering tip. It's really something that you don't see a lot of people talking about. Same-game parlays, and just how much of an edge that the sportsbooks really have when they're promoting these. They wouldn't promote these so hard if they weren't super profitable to them. And just think about it. You create a parlay on one game and that's exciting, but then of course you're also creating your other parlays along the way, and because it's only in one game, then you have to go out and create more parlays, and it just kind of gets more and more and more complicated to the point where you just have all of these bets stacking up on top of each other, and the sports books, they always have the edge. They've calculated everything out so that they're getting a huge profit no matter what. Thank you. As you know, it's illegal to take photos and videos in sports books, but I hope you're enjoying my a little bit of a AI generated background. Obviously the Welcome to Vegas sign is not that big, but it is a lot of fun and I hope you're enjoying it. And it is just one of those things that, you know, that's the law, and I try my best to, you know, use my fun AI knowledge to enhance everything that I do. I have been working so hard lately on my project for my AI ML class, my first project, so you know, it's fun to have like fun with the image generators and things like that while you're like knee deep in code. All right, now let's move on to the NBA. I have had an 80% win rate betting on the over in the Grizzlies game so far this season. But today, this Grizzlies Wizards game at 7 p.m. Eastern is really starting to look like an under. I've seen the total go from 243.5 down to 240.5. And a lot of strong pro money is hopping all over the under. Level 2 with a capital P, as you see in my morning report. Super strong pro money is hopping in on the under. I like seeing this total moving down, and I like this a lot. I like this under here. So even though I've been super successful betting the overs so far this season, I'm taking the under in this Grizzlies Wizards game. I like it. Yeah, that was too bad. Well, you could read all of my thoughts about that game in the morning report. I sent that out right before this live stream, and I had no bets in that game. Honestly, I could be super supportive of teams and watch the games, and you know, I separate that from gambling on the game. You know, a lot of people think like to watch a game, I need to have some skin in the game. I need to, you know, have my money on this game. But truthfully, like if that just doesn't make sense, it could be your favorite school, it could be your favorite team, it could be, you know, your favorite player, anything. Seriously, you work hard for your money. Make sure you are making informed strategic bets, and, you know, think about betting like an investment versus, you know, thinking about your favorite team. Be a fan, you know, get all the merch. Support your school, but when it comes to betting, think about it a little more strategically. Ooh, the Celtics-Bucks game. Let's talk about that. So, what do you want to talk about on that? Did you... Yeah. I'm just wondering, that's kind of what I'm wondering. I'm like, what would you like to talk about regarding that? Well, jump in when you have a moment and let me know. All right, but I am going to, that is my one bet game pick in the NBA today. I do like the under spot. I do want to move on to the NHL. You know, while I'm waiting for the news, and let's talk about the Lightning versus the Canucks at 4 p.m. Eastern. Now, you know, I don't really throw out a lot of NHL picks too often, but we are doing pretty well so far this season. Yeah, actually pretty good. So let's just keep it going. Now, today, I do like how this lightning line has moved, but I'm checking my numbers right now and it looks like it's moved. It's still on the move, honestly. I like how this lightning money line opened up at plus 110. I took it at minus 105 where I had it in the morning report, but it's already moved to minus 110 with a little bit of pro money starting to show up on that. At 3:30. I'm sorry. I ran on a morning report this morning that this game happens at 4 p.m. Eastern. Please note the correction that it is at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. I am simply playing with the house here. And hockey, I feel like these lines move a little more slowly, a little more subtly, but when they do move, playing with the house is always like a good way to go. And thanks for all the hearts, everyone. I see you giving all those hearts on YouTube. Thank you. Mwah. I like how this moves. Simply like how the house has moved this from plus 110, minus 105 is when I caught it. It's already moved out to minus 110. So if you were able to grab this as soon as I sent out the email, then congratulations. Oh, cool. Half a unit on a puck line. All right, let's go. All right. I love when Derek jumps in on this too. I feel like this is going to be a great play. Let's go. That's true. Yeah, we might have a little bit more money coming in on this one later. But from what I see right now, the pros are there. The afterwork bettors haven't really jumped in yet, but I'm sure when they do, it's gonna be like even more insane. But the pro money is there right now, and it's pretty strong. So I like seeing all of the pros in on this early. The Grizzly under is fun, and like I said, you know, this is one of those weird weeks betting on the NFL, you know, maybe bet a little more cautiously. But I like these plays in the NBA and hockey. That is true. Now it is time for my cannabis segment. I have something a little different for you guys today. I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. So let's just get started. All right, here I have the perfect way to decarb THCA because I have been getting so many questions since I brought in that THCA chocolate chip cookie on the last show. And decarboxylation is the process of converting a THCA, which is legal. You could sell all over the country, 100% legally. It is derived from hemp. And it's also not psychoactive until you convert it to THC. So this process really just happens through heat, but you also have to get this process right so that your edibles are delivering their full potency. And you know, you don't want to bake this at too high of a temperature for too long because it turns from THCA to THC to then CBN, and as we know, like CBN will make you sleepy, and it's not really potent or psychoactive. It just kind of makes you want to fall asleep. All right, so step one, temperature matters. So THCA converts to THC around 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and it keeps working all the way up to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. So you have to be a little more precise as you're dialing this in. But when it gets hotter than that, it could turn into CBN. So you really want to be precise with this. You don't want it to turn into CBN. Unless you're just trying to make like sleepy time cookies, which now you know how to make sleepy time cookies. Too with your THCA. Okay, step number 2. Time is key. Decarboxylation is time sensitive. At 230 degrees Fahrenheit, THCA will decarb in 30 to 40 minutes. So this is a full conversion from THCA into THC. The CBN has not started at this process yet, but you just really want this low temperature, slow, cooking the cookies approach to everything. Otherwise, it's not going to be THC, it'll be CBN. And you also want to get it converted right from THCA to THC, so it's actually psychoactive and makes you feel good. I'm glad you guys are liking the slides and info. Let me just move this picture so you guys could read the rest of the process. So now putting it all together, you preheat your oven to 230 to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Spread your THCA evenly across your baking sheet, lining it with parchment or foil, and cover it lightly with foil to retain the cannabinoids and terpenes that are in the THCA. Bake it for 30 to 40 minutes, stirring it halfway through for even heating, and of course let it cool before mixing it into your butter, oil, or directly into your cookie or brownie batter. And that's the process. There you go. That is the perfect way to decarb THCA. Of course, if you guys have any questions about THCA, my inbox is always open. I'd love to teach you guys more about it. I think it is just so interesting how everyone could really make their own edibles and properly dose them. I am actually working on creating a program for cannabis. I do have some stuff writing for a book that I'm doing on cannabis as well, so I appreciate it. It's in the process and I will have that shortly. But I am also going to be coming out with like an interactive course where you could, do different projects with the cannabis and learn about it in depth, take quizzes, and truly have like an important certification by the end of it. So working on all of that. I love giving you guys tidbits of information on cannabis and just especially how you could use this THCA crystals in a unique way. To me personally, I've been in the cannabis industry for years. I mean, for many years, and I've done many things from, selling the first million Delta-8 cartridges to, running a huge hemp and CBD business, with selling everything from like terpenes and aromatherapy products all the way to, Delta-8, Delta-9 I was in a Delta-9 derived from hemp when it still wasn't even out on the market yet. So, just being in this business for such a long time and seeing everything close up and working with a lot of the big cannabis companies out there, I think THCA is really this cool thing that I'm excited to show people how to use in the right way. I grew up in the days where you'd get cannabis butter from your friend and you would just pour it into a batch of Rice Krispies, and you never knew how many milligrams you were getting. It was always a surprise. But THCA, you really can make it a little more precise, and you could do it at home, so that's kind of why I love it. So of course, feel free to message me any questions that you have, or really anything. Now, I have 2 props for you. Are you ready? All right, I am taking Steelers wide receiver George Pickens to go over 4.5 receptions. You can get this prop right now at plus 105. I think he is going to have a big day today. I really think George Pickens is going to have a big day today. I mean, even despite his recent fines and, you've seen the news like I have. I think it's going to be a big game for him. So I like this prop a lot. You could get it plus 105. Love a nice plus money prop, so let's go. Ooh, yeah. Let's go. Wow. If you mention marijuana, you could get fired. Oh my gosh. That's just too bad because it really helps so many people. I mean, cannabis in all of its forms, whether it's marijuana or hemp, you know, in topical form or, you know, in edible form, or even smoking, you know, there's different ways and different methodologies that could help so many people. But at the end of the day, we all have an endocannabinoid system, just like we all have a nervous system and cardiovascular system and everything else. And, you know, you need to supplement your endocannabinoid system. It's just that simple. Ooh, that might be a good one too. My AI did not pop this prop out for me today, but I do like it. All right. Pacheco over 65 yards rushing. All right. What's the plus money right now? Is it at plus 110, plus 105? Feel free to comment that in the chat. Okay, guys. I love when you guys throw in plays in the chat. Let's go. That's what I love about this whole Sports Betting Illuminated community. We're really building a solid community here of professional handicappers that you just don't find anywhere else. You know, everyone else out there is either, you know, not giving you great information, telling you to play, you know, these minus 5,000, you know, bets, or, you know, creating these crazy parlays and stuff. But here we have some really good handicappers in the sports betting community. So big shout out to all of you. I love when you guys throw your plays in the chat, and we could all just be like a big collective brain coming up with the best of the best. The high steps do matter. You guys remember that when I was talking about that a few weeks ago? In those rain and snow conditions where high steps matter, that is something to pay attention to. And trust me, Vegas is paying attention to it too. Okay. So you're saying he looks good for props today. All right, Craig. You know, my AI model hasn't really popped out anything, but I will get back to you on that in an email and let you know. But, you know, I also trust the Sharp as well, because he's also a super handicapper here in this chat. So if he's looking good for props today, I would say, you know, time to really dive into some of his props and let's make some plays. Now, I'd have one more prop for all of you today. I like Miami Heat forward Duncan Robinson to go under 10.5 points. You could get this prop right now at even money. And all of my AI models right now are predicting a little bit of a chill for the Heat. So I do like this under prop, and also a lot of people really don't take under props too often. So that's why I like it here, especially where you could get it at even money. I could see that. Tennessee being a super risk. Yeah, there are quite a lot of risky plays today. So just remember that. You know, really do some thorough analysis, because we do have a huge slate, and I just want everyone to remember that. We have a huge slate of games across all different sports leagues. So, you know, really take your time to focus in, because I've said this before and I'll say it again, you know, the NFL is a little bit shaky today. Seriously. It's just a little bit shaky. All right, well, that was all of my bets for today. I gave you all my game picks, all of my props. I'm just going to review them all for you real quick, and then happy wagering. Okay, so I'm taking the Bears money line. You guys know that already. Lock that one in. Yeah. Just don't think the 49ers, and I just don't think it's going to be their day today, honestly. All these injuries, just not looking good for them. Also, I like how this over is developing in a Raiders-Bucks game. I don't think that this total is moving too much at the moment, but I would love to see it move an extra half a point towards the over. But I still like it as it is right now. The over 46.5, there is some solid money behind it, as well as like an early Vegas move. I like it. Next in NBA, I took the under in a Grizzlies Wizards game. I like it. It's a big Vegas move with a lot of pro money. I mean, super strong pro money on the under. This is probably the one spot where I've seen the most significant pro money starting to show up anywhere today. So I like the under here. I mean, seriously, I've done incredibly well betting over on Grizzlies this season. But today, because of what the books and what the pros are doing, I'm taking the under too. Yeah, I think 49er, I don't really know when all the players are going to be back. It just seems like they're announcing more and more injuries. So, I don't know. I hope everyone gets better soon though, because injuries are not good and nobody wants to be injured, and you know, let's get back out there on the field and get healthy, right everyone? Alright, and then in my last game pick, I did take the Tampa Bay Lightning money line in the NHL. I love how it moved early, it moved pretty significantly, and it's still on the move. So I think a lot of people are going to be hopping on this play, you know, like the Sharp said, probably after work. That's when a lot of Joes are probably going to be hopping on it after they get done for today. So it is kind of a spot where you might want to hop on this one early and, you know, grab it before it keeps moving out any further, because it already has since I put out the morning report, and that was not even an hour ago, maybe an hour ago. That was an hour ago, so not long. It's moving fast. Plus, I love seeing Derek taking the Lightning puck line as well. So I love it. We have some true professionals hopping on this play. And finally, for my props for all of you today, I am taking Steelers wide receiver George Pickens to go over 4.5 receptions at plus 105, and I'm taking Miami Heat forward Duncan Robinson to go under 10.5 points at even money. I just finished up with my recap, Tyler, but just rewind like just the last few seconds because I have all of my props. I just went through all of them from start to finish like 3 minutes ago. But that was all of my plays for today, everyone. I hope we could do a lot of winning. It's going to be a great Sunday. Remember what I said about the NFL and just how it's a little bit shaky today. So, you know, tread lightly. Be a little more cautious with your plays. You work hard for your money, and I want to see you make more of it. And while you're at it, don't forget to order my Sports Betting Illuminated book. It is finally here live on arielcalista.com. If you just go to the store on arielcalista.com, you can order a signed copy of my book. Of course, if you don't want a signed copy, you could order it like on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, everywhere else. But if you want it special for me, you know where to go. And while you're at it, make sure to sign up for my free daily emails just by clicking on the Stay in Touch button. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the Sports Betting Illuminated live show. Please, on your way out, give me a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my profile. And while you're at it, I'd love if you could tell a friend so we could all win together. Sports betting doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. It is a win-win game if we're playing playing with the house, and we're all helping each other. All right. Have a great morning, everyone. Good luck today on all of your wagers. Let's do some winning, and I will see you Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for stopping by.